Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking another look at ticker symbol NETE. That's Net Element Incorporated. Chart we have here today is a 2-hour chart. Each candlestick on this chart representing 2 hours of trading. We go back to that first big green candle at 525, the first 2-hour candle that we had since the reverse split. Now, it's been a little while since I made a net element analysis, and I think you guys can guess why. Because of this reverse split, we really needed to see what the price per share would consolidate at, the new levels it would create and whatnot. I'm honestly pretty bummed out because the last trading range net element was in, the pivot points worked perfectly, the technical analysis worked perfectly, and since we reverse split, now we have to do it all over again and find new technicals. But with the data that we have now, it's been a few weeks for net element, and it looks like we can really pull some decent technicals here. They're playing out pretty well now. We have enough data to really make some good estimates on what we can expect the price per share to do coming up. So let's discuss what we might see net element do in the future. 3 main points to take a look at here on the right. $2.85, that top pivot point. Middle pivot point, $2.50. Bottom pivot point, $2.25. Now down here at the bottom is the relative strength index, but it is a little funky, and I kind of have a feeling that the reverse split kind of threw that RSI off. It clearly threw the moving averages off, but like I said, since we've been trading a few weeks now, the moving averages are looking a bit more normal now. I'm still going to assume that they're a little bit wacky, but they can tell us a decent story based on the last few days that we have here. Since that 50-period moving average is now converging with our other moving averages, it's looking like the chart is starting to come together, so I'll definitely be updating this analysis in the future. This is a rough analysis based on the data we do have, and I think it will be pretty correct, but I do think that we need to see a little bit more of what net element's going to do before we really get completely accurate technical analysis. And by completely accurate, I mean the best, most accurate that we can get. Obviously, technical analysis will never be 100% correct, because if that was the case, we'd all be rich. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's take a look. So we had that big candle right after the reverse split. It was actually a pretty nice candle too. We had the low, the open, the low being kind of close together, and we closed up at the high. So that candle was actually really nice. Unfortunately, the next candle was really ugly. We had the open, we had the open here and then the close here. The open literally right at 285, the top of that range. The close literally at 250, the bottom of that range. So we did break down a little bit below that, but I guess on the bright side, it did close on support. Next candle opening on support, closing a little bit above. Next candle opening a little bit above the last one and closing above that. So actually, this area wasn't that bad looking at all. Next area here, it is unfortunately getting a lot worse. We have a really ugly candle followed by a dragonfly doji. I'm sorry, not a dragonfly doji. Why am I blanking out? What doji would that be? Hold on a second. It's been a long day, guys. I think, let me just double check. I don't want to give false information out with my brain being half asleep. Okay, just waiting for this to load. Come on. Come on, there we go. All right. Okay, so you're right. So it would be a long-legged doji. Good thing I corrected that. So we had that long-legged doji, and then we fell down below support, finding new support at 225. Now the 225 support is held real nice. Tested it all along here. It did break down here, but we bounced back up. Testing it some more. Broke down, but bounced back up. So 225 support looks like it's going to hold pretty well. Along with that fact now, catching up to the more current data is our moving averages, which I mentioned are looking a little bit more accurate now in comparison to over here. And you can see that the moving averages are acting as trailing support. We were literally bouncing off the moving averages all over here, and we closed right almost at 250. So there's a good chance that we break 250 and we can work up to the next pivot point at $2.85. And honestly, this is pretty much about where net element should be trading right now. I mean, if you divide this by 10, you're at right about 25 cents. And I would like to see net element get back to 29 cents at least, so it does seem like it's on its way there. If we hit the 285 pivot point and divide that by 10, we'd be at 28.5 cents, almost back to the 29 cent area where net element really should be above. My opinion, it's a stock that we like, and I would like to give it credit and say that it's It's worth more than that, but at the very least, Net Element really should be trading at 29 cents pre-split. So post-split, that would be $2.90. I think we will see the price start climbing closer to $2.90. So it's strange that our resistance is at 285 and not 290, but that's the case. You know, things do change, so maybe we'll consolidate around 285, but I do think we will start pushing up there. Agreeing with the fact is our 13-period moving average, that purple line, crossing above both the green and the yellow moving average, although it hasn't crossed the yellow yet, unfortunately, because these last 4-hour trading periods, we didn't have much movement, and it wasn't bullish movement either. So unfortunately, we are waiting for that data to look a little more bullish. The relative strength index also, unfortunately, is looking pretty ugly. Let's see where we went oversold. And it looks like we went oversold right on those last 4 hours of trading. So really, the chart was starting to look good. It really was. If we just kind of look before those last two trading periods, those last two candles, I should say, we had some higher lows. You know, we had our lows here, and some higher lows, and then we were making some more higher lows, and we were just testing 250, almost breaking above it. Our relative strength index was overbought, so it was looking pretty good. Unfortunately, the last 4 hours of trading kind of ruined all that, but it's not over yet. You know, that 50-period moving average and that 13-period moving average are literally converging together, so we can still break away from that, see a divergence to the upside, and I really hope that does happen because I want to get to 285 ASAP so that we can get back to 290 and work our way up in the $3 area. So that's all I have to say about Net Element for now. Just wanted to update this with the pivot points, 225, 250, 285. Those are going to be our important pivot points, and I really want to see what Net Element does. I'm hoping it gets to 29 cents and then, you know, like I said, gets into that 30 cent, rather $3 range. I keep wanting to talk about it pre-split. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully Net Element does hit those price targets, and hopefully it does it soon. Have a good one.